and welcome to Long Live the Queen, where we talk about the women who made history. And by we, I mean the royal we, because it's just me. Today we're going to talk about Anastasia Romanovna.
One day we will be remembered.
Usually it's just me, but today I have my friend Cristel here with me. Hi, Cristel.
Hello.
I'm excited.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about Anastasia Romanovna. If I can get that name out properly very many times. Okay, here we go. Anastasia Romanovna was born the year of our Lord 1530. Her father was a Russian boyar, the Russian equivalent to a Grand Duke, so he was pretty important. Like just short of a king.
Right.
Her mother was a Grand Duchess, but I honestly don't know that much about her. She's just like random birth giver.
Okay. Egg donor.
Yes. Anastasia's father was a very important nobleman in Russia, and he worked closely with the head bitch in charge, Grand Prince Vasily III. So he was higher than a Grand Duke, but Russia didn't have a Tsar yet.
Okay.
So the Grand Prince was in charge. And Grand Prince Vasily had married and divorced his first wife after 20 years. It had been happening in China for centuries, but Vasily culturally appropriated bridal shows to find his first wife.
They were also popular in Byzantine times.
Yes. And so you think Cinderella. All the eligible noble girls in the kingdom will be dressed up and presented to the prospective groom, and he would choose his bride.
Actually, I think it'd be more appropriate to make it closer to The Bachelor than Cinderella, because there was a lot of background stuff that was going on.
That's true.
Like behind the scenes.
Okay, it's like The Bachelor.
Went.
I mean, yeah, she wasn't a servant. She was a noble girl. She was like if Anastasia, or I guess it's Anastasia in Cinderella. It's like Anastasia, the stepsister. She found a prince husband because she's a noble girl, grew up with her mom and her sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely like The Bachelor. And he chose Solomonia Saburova. But Solomonia was unable to have children. It was decided by her husband that they would divorce, and she would be forcibly removed to a nunnery to become a nun, and Vasily could remarry. So, yay for him, I guess. She wasn't here for it. They were like, no, you're basically going to nun jail.
Nun jail.
He chose his second wife, Elena, reportedly because of the beauty of her face and her young age. So, if that's not creepy enough. Vasily was 47 years old, and Elena was 16.
Ooh.
Yeah. They had a baby son the same year that Anastasia was born. So, the future Grand Prince of Russia was the same age as Anastasia. It was a good year for Russia, sort of. This new little baby would become Ivan the Terrible. Right now, he was just baby Prince Ivan. Because their fathers worked together, the children would have likely met, but probably didn't know each other well. Anastasia would have spent most of her time with her sister and her mother, learning how to be a Russian noble lady. Ivan may have been friendlier with her brothers, the future noblemen of Russia, like the next generation.
Okay.
And when Anastasia and Ivan were just 3 years old, Grand Prince Vasily died at the age of 54. Ivan was now the Grand Prince, and his mother, 23-year-old Elena, was put in charge, sort of. Like, officially, but...
So she was like the regent, but she had like her cabinet.
Yeah. And she was only 23. She was female. Like, they just got rid of a nearly 60-year-old king.
You're not going to let her run the country.
Right. And she was only in charge for about 5 years. She died at the age of 27 or 28 when her son was just 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
Little Ivan's governess was arrested for poisoning his mother.
Ooh.
And it is thought that her in-laws had her poisoned to take over control of the government and little Ivan.
That tracks.
Yeah. Grand Prince Ivan was now in the control of his father's family, and they had a rough history. Ivan's father had forbidden his brothers to marry, and they had been imprisoned if they did. So...
Make sure that family tree...
Yeah, you can't have more heirs than me. And this caused problems later, because then everything's riding on little Ivan, right?
Mm-hmm.
No wonder he was so terrible. It's a rough start. I say, is it too soon to say justice for Ivan the Terrible?
Will be remembered.
You know the drill. Part 2 is on Patreon, and the link for Patreon is in the show description. See you there.
Thanks for listening.